Alright, forget about instant money. It's non-existent because that whole quick money mindset in social media is straight brain rot. That's it. For those who want to go deeper, let's discuss this topic as I have some thoughts about it. It's a pretty easy one for me to talk about since for most of my life I've been thinking how to get more money besides salary. And I also fell for this trap of quick money mindset where I would focus on something that would get me the quickest outcome, like risky stocks or selling clothes for small markup, instead of thinking about something bigger that would bring me more value in the end. Where trying to flip clothes for tiny margins from Chinese shops like Panda Buy or like CN Fans, thinking I was business maxing or something is straight bullshit, man. Although I'm still young and that's normal to make wrong assumptions, right? But things could always be better. And I'm still learning, same as you. Which is the reason I started this channel, just to put my thoughts in perspective. And maybe that will help myself as well, right? Who knows? We'll see. So, anyways, why is it so tempting to think about quick success when you are poor? Why don't our brains think in the long term where the real success and big money actually is, right? So you probably know countless stories where low income or poor people try to get instant money through insane ways like casinos, sports betting, or lotteries. Doesn't matter, it's all the same. Where the odds are completely against them, which is basically dopamine maxing, right? But they still do it even knowing that most likely they will lose. Of course, not everybody's the same. Some people simply lose hope of getting out of their situation. Some of them are just lost in their minds and can't focus because of distractions, which was my situation as well. And there are countless different reasons why poor or even middle income people focus so much on instant success or instant profit, right? But the answer is actually simple. It's the way our brain operates. You see, when you have a lack of resources and you consider yourself a low income guy or even middle income, which honestly isn't that different because you just live a little bit more comfortably. But if you suddenly lose a couple months of your salary or even 1 month, well, you will be most likely in a position where you need to take a loan. And that's beyond feeling really comfortable, right? So the point is, especially for guys, when we sense that we are barely making it to the next salary just to pay all the bills, our body enters this survival mode. And that brings pretty devastating mental pressure, which is like a disadvantage, I would say. Well, maybe for someone not. They actually get focused better under pressure. But for me, it depends. Like, it depends how bad the financial situation is, right? Like, if it's really bad, I can only focus on survival, basically, like grocery and like gas for the car. And so, if you are full of daily tasks you must do just to stay afloat, and you keep doing this for a long time, the longer you stay in this survival mode, the bigger the chance of breaking down mentally. It's almost like life is testing us. And I know you know there is that famous quote, right? Diamonds are made under pressure. But this video is not going to be some hardcore motivation or top G type of self-talk. The idea here is to step aside and look at the situation from outside and understand why poor people are more likely to fall into low-key, fast money scams and loops. Maybe this perspective helps someone look at their own situation differently and take an approach to fixing their current state. So how do you deal with this insane feeling of I need money now or today or latest is tomorrow? I think the answer has to be brutal, to be honest. I mean, it's just forget it. It's not going to happen. Leave this idea. It's not going to work. Because quick money is a myth. It's low-key scam mindset. Yes, you might get some small gains here and there. And if you're the luckiest person in town, maybe even big gains, who knows? But the majority will stay with empty wallets until they change their mindset. You have to understand that there is no quick gain in this world. It simply doesn't work like that. Every successful story starts with years of consistent grind before it brings any real fruits. And in order to be ready to work and grind for months or years without even seeing much outcome, especially in the first couple months, right? You have to get rid of this quick gain mentality. That mentality is probably your biggest wall, and for me it was two, I believe, because I don't even know how many months I wasted because I just tried to get that quick results. And yes, I get some feedback, but it's nothing compared to what I actually could get if I would just stick to one thing or two things for more than a year. You know what I'm talking about, right? So once you understand this, you sit down and actually start to think. You start asking real questions like, how can I fix the situation I'm in? Not today, but in a couple months or years. Once you get rid of the quick money mentality, you start noticing another problem, which is also a big one. The state of your mind, I would say, this survival mode thinking, because when you're in survival mode, your brain blocks long-term thinking. Instead, your focus goes only as far as the next salary, maybe 1 month ahead at best, right? And here comes this mind trick, I would say, where you need to play it on your own brain, and it is you somehow must start believing that there is no immediate threat to your survival, if that makes sense. I mean, this is extremely hard to believe at first, especially when you're in debt or you have no money and you don't know what to do because you can't fake it, right? It's not working like that. And the feelings to your own brain, I mean, you cannot somehow make them up, right? That it's fine or nothing bad will happen. I mean, everybody should approach this individually because there's no right answer for everyone, but you get the point, I believe. So, strangely enough, if you figure it out and actually sense it, that's exactly how you start fixing this loop, I believe. At least that's how it worked for me. I only can talk about my own experience. So, when I finally accepted that, yeah, I'm in a bad spot right now and I can't magically fix everything today, but I can still do something to improve my life in the future, well, something kind of changed. And once I got rid of that intense feeling of constant threat, I felt the first real, I would describe it as relaxation in my body for the first time in a long time. And only then I could finally put my thoughts together. Because the reason you are stuck in survival mode is that your nervous system is under massive stress, and this pushes your body into a fight or flight state, right? Which completely destroys your ability to think rationally and fix problems. And this is where many people get stuck, and some never get out of it. They stay too long in that cycle where they lose hope and eventually give up trying to do something bigger in their life, where the emotional mental pressure becomes so strong for so long that their nervous system just shuts down, man. So the most realistic way, in the way I would see it, at least that would work for me, is to get out of this survival mode by observing your main income stream. And what I mean by it is pretty simple. If it's your job, then you start asking, what could realistically increase my income? Not next month, not in 2 months, but maybe in 6 months or a year. Maybe it means improving your skills as an employee. Maybe it means having a conversation with your boss, or maybe it means switching jobs if your salary has stayed the same for too long and doesn't match your capabilities. And this is where you start building a growth plan. You start thinking kind of long term. At the same time, besides income, your expenses have to become more rational. Suddenly, there is a less desire to escape reality through things like alcohol or useless spending because your nervous system is slowly starting calming down. It's not in a threat and it doesn't need to escape this intense anxiety anymore. And you begin budgeting without even realizing how impossible it felt before. And strangely enough, you might start feeling comfortable living below your means. And once the first small savings appear in your bank account, the emotional pressure will slowly begin to fade. And this is where something interesting happens. You start noticing that the real escape from poverty wasn't lucky bet or a crypto moonshot or a lottery ticket. It was simply regaining control of your mind, that there is no threat anymore. And once your mind is calm, you can finally build something. Slowly, maybe, well, most likely it's going to be boring, but the funny thing is, the same patience that felt impossible, where you were desperate, suddenly becomes natural, because now you're no longer trying to escape your life overnight, but you're actually able to be calm Chad who has a vision how you're gonna fix this crap you're into now by thinking long term. Alright, that's it. I hope it was fun to listen. If you can, guys, just give me some feedback. That would mean a lot to me, and thank you very much.